What would your tracks be?
Huh?
What would your tracks be?
They would be.
All right, guys. So we're live. Welcome to the
Oh,
Frequency Control Show.
what?
Oh yeah, I told you we were live like 20 minutes ago, and you just
No, you said he had to restart it.
and it's restarted, so we're up. So
What?
what were you talking like triple album? Hey man, we're already 30 minutes late. What do you want to do? What, hey, before that, we got to chop it up still. So, like, what are you talking on the triple album? What are you gonna do? What would your angle be on what you're doing?
Um, I don't have one for live right now. Let's just go.
Oh, that's dumb. People want to hear what you got going on.
No, well, me rapping on an album is not what I have going on. But in my head, I was like, huh, maybe we could do a triple album. AWAX, yourself, and then maybe I have a couple tracks.
That would
Or
take some
maybe
effort.
maybe I'll just feature
Or
a
we
couple.
just
I
do
don't
one
know.
album, and
Why not?
it'd make it easier if we just did one album, and it was like three tracks from you, three from me, three from him, and make it easier as opposed to
Yeah,
doing
that
a
worked.
full album from you while we got all these other things juggling around and shit. Yeah. Right now, I'm like scrambling like crazy just to maintain what I've got going on.
Yes, I would. I have zero really serious commitment to writing an album.
I know, and
Like,
so you have an idea. You have an idea, then we're all gonna jump in, and you're gonna be like,
well,
"Oh
no,
well, my
we're just
part's
talking
not
about
done."
it now. If we were to be like, yeah, let's do it, and I'd be like, okay, I'm down for like three
I
and
just
not
don't do the
12.
talking about it shit. I just not with that. I'm like, let's everything we do with this close to the end of our lives is like we're gonna say something, we're gonna do it because we have spent the last 40 some odd years of our lives talking about it. So now everything we say it needs to be like you're gonna do it or we're like pretending no more. We can only have so much time to pull the trigger on this shit. I'm not with that whole talking shit.
Well, I am. I'm all about.
I know you are. I know you
No,
are.
I am about coming up with ideas and thinking about stuff, and whether you choose to do them or not, that's not the thing. The thing is, coming up with ideas and then those turning into other things instead of just being like closed off, like you can't. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You should,
You know,
but when your mindset is
because
I'm just
I like to think
but
about stuff like
when your mindset is I'm just talking, eh, I'm not with that. Let's for sure do it or let's not. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm like with like getting it
yeah,
done.
it starts out by thinking about it and talking about it, and you know what I mean. That's one thing to go from 12 songs to three,
When
you
you
know,
find
and,
yourself
and
doing a
that's
lot of
exactly
talking
why,
about everything,
and that's exactly why you
when
bring
you
it up.
find that all of your ideas are all talking about it and none of it is actually doing it, that's the issue. So at some point you can fall into that trap of just fun having fun talking about things and never actually doing anything, and then we'll be 80
Yeah,
if we're
so
lucky enough to get there.
yeah, I follow through on these things in the steps I need because I've got definite immediate goals right now,
Right.
and then grow into bigger things that I am thinking about doing when at those times. When I am outie.
Will's got his own way of doing things. He's gonna write a book about it.
Yeah, and it's called How I Made My First Million.
It's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna get to read that. It's gonna be awesome. How far are you on that book? I know you're a few chapters in, right?
Two chapters, but
Okay, two.
I'm gonna delete them and start over. There's just too much complaining. I'm complaining, and there's some things I don't need to be talking about because that's where you start. You start off by writing because I had all this stuff and I'm reading and I'm like, I don't need to talk about any of that. Just some stuff with my daughter and all this kind of stuff from her mom. I was like, I don't, I can, once I read it back, I can see how I can cut all that and get to the same point and have it more enjoyable to read. But
But it
you
might be
have
more
to start.
enjoyable to.
You have to start.
It might be more enjoyable to see the human in the person writing.
What?
A little more complaining and a little bit of actual real stuff they can bite on to believe in and understand
Well,
and
duh.
recognize. And
Exactly. That's why I'm deleting all that and
but
just
no,
start.
no, no, the stuff you're deleting is the relatable shit. The other stuff you're keeping is the stuff that is schooling them. So you have the layer of schooling, but the layer of hey, you're a human just like me, you're deleting. And
Yeah, I'm not.
some of
I'm
the
not.
value, some of the
Or maybe I'll
value
put it different.
is a little bit of the fucking human touch on it. You know, it's like
Not
when
gonna.
they tell you when you're writing
Uh,
emails to people, like leave in the mistakes because they go, "Oh man, this person spelled that word wrong." But you know, at the end of the day, they're like, "Hey, we're dealing with real people. It's not like a professional marketer." I remember they wouldn't even
I
like. I
would
remember.
never misspell a word on purpose
Hey, listen. I remember like,
in
well,
an email.
you need to read more on marketing. So I remember specifically when I was selling carpet, number one salesman in the world, and people would not deal with me because I was too good at it. And they were like, I don't trust him. He is too good at it. And so they dealt with this girl named Camber who was slower, not as fast, more trustworthy because she didn't seem as smart and possibly could screw her carpet job up. But they were like, we're going to deal with her and we're not dealing with that guy. He's too on it. Literally, I was losing carpet jobs to people that felt like I was too on it. And I wasn't aggressive, I was just too knowledgeable. And they were like, I'm not dealing with that guy. That like that quick. I'm like, but I'm on my shit. She's fucking up. She's like doing all this, and it didn't matter. They're just like, we want to deal with somebody that's relatable. It's safe.
I can break down that scenario right now. But it,
It's
uh,
crazy. It's
that scenario,
crazy. The human
that
psyche,
scenario is
bro. The
happening
human
right
psyche.
now.
So they want to see some mistakes. They want to see you be human. They buy into that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So the topic today is gratitude,
Gratitude, and it's a repeat thing. Bear with me, guys. I'm replacing a battery now.
but
Those half hours of talk before while I got my camera running is running my battery out.
gratitude. I it's the very first thing I do as soon as I open my eyes. I say, I am I am grateful.
Grateful.
Yes, those are the first three words out of my mouth every time I open my eyes in the morning. It's automatic. I don't even have to think about it. I am unconsciously confident every morning. I am grateful for everything I have. I am grateful for everything I have coming. I'm grateful. It's pretty much the morning blast. I'm pretty much have it memorized, and that's it's an automatic, and it just I'll tell you, man, it's just a good way to start the day, and kind of allows yourself to get into the other stuff you're trying to do, because when you're in a place of having gratitude and grateful, your attitude is different. You're feels like I'm a better person when I'm in that energy zone of gratitude and gratefulness, compared to when I'm in the zone of go go go, get out of my way. You know what I mean? That I don't can't hang out with those type of people. You know what I mean? And you're going throughout your thing, but when you're in the energy zone of gratitude and gratefulness, I'm that's when I'm the best version of myself, and more helpful, and you know, it's different. So and more humble. You know what I mean? It's humbling when I'm just grateful I have a home. I'm grateful I I have a job. I got my job during the height of COVID last year. I'm grateful I was even able to get a job. I'm the most grateful person in that building. And therefore, when I am in that building, my mind is there to murder it up until I leave. And I am very successful at my job, but my job, okay, I'm very successful at my job, but that isn't what I see allowing me to be successful in my life. You know, I'm successful in my job, but that isn't carrying over to me being successful at life further than what, I'm already grateful for from where I was. The next chapter after this that I'm grateful for that this job did allow me to get to. But of course, I have bigger dreams and seeing further down the road. So now it's time to graduate to the next level. But I am the most grateful person in that building. And therefore, I don't come to work to make friends. I don't come to work to, you know, pussyfoot around. I come to work and crush it at what I'm doing at my job. And I do kill it. And I am killing it, but
Where are you at in
there's
the region for sales?
94%.
No, where are you at in the region? Are you number one?
94%.
Are you number one?
No, not yet.
How close are you to number one?
I'm 3%.
What does that mean?
Or I have, yeah, I'm in the 94%.
Yeah, but who's
I
the
need,
who's
I
the
don't
number
know.
one salesperson in your region?
I don't know. They don't really show names anymore. It's all percentages.
Huh.
They don't show the names and you see the dollar amounts. It's not like that anymore.
Oh, they used to have that. That was dope when
It's
they had
all it's all sales per hour and you surpassing that. And now if you do I think it's like if your department is bonus is meeting the sales goals and you are like 100% of your sales per hour, then you get a full 2,500 extra. But in Florida, that means you got to be on your game. So yeah, this is so. I mean, yeah, all that's cool. Why did we talk about that now? Because I wanted to finish that. What got us on that? Because I wanted to finish that. But anyways,
you were talking about how much effort you put in and showing that you're grateful for where you're at. That's why you go in and put in everything on the table for what you're doing.
yeah. So I yes, I have much gratitude. Lowe's has always been good to me. I've quit and come back so many times and kill it every time. So I didn't really want to say where it was, but anyway, so gratitude, being grateful should be something you should be doing often. And just put yourself in a good state of humble and thankful. And that's a good place to be in. And because you can get caught up in what you're doing next and your hustles and your main games and your next goals and forget what got you there. That's why it's good to go back. That's why, I go every once in a while. So I was sleeping in my car not very long ago, and every once in a while, I go to lunch in the parking lot that I slept in a lot, and have lunch there, and just remind myself that no matter what I'm chasing, you know, where I'm at now is better than this, and that is uh, doable and um, that I'm happy and grateful for. So it's not always about reaching the next things, and you know how good it feels when I go there and just kind of, man, I'm glad I'm not here anymore, and I'm grateful that I've graduated this, and I'm also grateful for what's coming next, and the things, the actions we're taking and I'm taking to get to even the next place of growth. So, man, I can't just. It's it's very good to get into those places when you're kind of just caught up in the hustle and bustle of getting it.
But that's the same way I was with. I worked at a coffee place. It's funny. My kid just told me, "Yeah, Dad, you make beats and you were a coffee guy." I'm like, I'm not defined by the coffee guy piece, but yeah, I went in when I did the coffee. I did the best job I could possibly do because I was grateful for what that was doing for me at the moment. It was allowing me to run a business plus supplement my income with this coffee route that I was doing that was allowing me to get off at like 12 o'clock every day and then go do another business. So like I was at 6 a.m. to 12 o'clock, crack on that business, and be the number one salesperson in that business. In half the time, I was doing my route, and half the times, other guys were taking until 6 p.m. to get done, and I was doing another $100,000 more in sales than those guys. And I would crack, and I'll go crazy. I remember the people in the warehouse that were trying to work with me would be like, "Damn, dude, you're just like getting it, man. Like, what's like, relax." I'm like, I don't got time to relax. I'm trying to like hammer down here, and then dip out, go hammer my other business, and then dip out and go do my music shit. Like, and then mind you, be a dad on top of that shit. So like people don't understand. Like, but I was very grateful for that job. You know what I mean? I thought that job was dope. I mean, I tried to get Will a job there. That's how much I thought. I was like, this is cake. Come here, get this bread, and then go do your shit because they're so cool with their time. This mom and pop shit is way different than a Lowe's job. They're leeway. You get the same money, and they're more flexible, and they believe in you as a human being, and all this other extra great shit. I mean, I'm still wearing my self work coffee shirt if I can pull it down right. You know, I just happen to be wearing it today because I love that company. But anyway, gratitude is massive. Like going to that company. Like most people, be like, man, fuck this company. It ain't shit. It ain't your dream job. But I'm like, no, I'm so grateful for what it's doing for me and allowing me to transition to where I'm trying to be. Like you got to understand that with like a Lowe's or say you're working at 7-Eleven or Starbucks or wherever you're at the time, understand that that is the bridge to where you're trying to be. That is the smooth transition to what you're trying to do. You think of like I was just watching a thing on Tyler the Creator, who's massive. He has like clothing company, successful clothing lines, successful shoe lines, successful company label. The guy's successful in art and all these other things, and he was an employee who got fired from Starbucks. Somebody saw him as not worthy to be a Starbucks employee to just take your coffee order. Yet he became a business owner for like 4 or 5 businesses, a multi millionaire, probably over 200 million. And not just from rap music, from running a t-shirt company, from running a clothing line, from running all types of other businesses. But at some point, somebody didn't think he was fit to even be an employee at a company to accept your coffee order. Will that be a venti or a grande? Is that caramel? Would you want real sugar or fake sugar? Like, yeah, he runs massive businesses, big companies. He's big. He's big. He's seen like in car companies and all kinds of shit. So you just got to be grateful, and he was grateful for that job. It was helping him get to where he's trying to be. You know what I mean? And so gratitude's massive. Just understanding and being appreciative of where you're at, what you get to do, instead of I have to do it. change that sentence to I get to do this. And that thing helped me from these two little phrases from expect great things. That made me stop worrying about answering a call that I didn't know who the hell was calling me. Like, what's that number? I'm not answering it. And I would think negatively, like, it's got to be a bill collector, to switching it to, like, hey, these people could be trying to pay me $1 million. I'm answering that call. Same thing with, checking the mail, going, ooh, what's that weird ass mail? Looks hella official. Hey, it might be $1 million check, as opposed to it's a bill. Same thing with I get to versus I have to. Getting up, going, oh my god, I got up at 5 o'clock so I can start cracking. I want to get an extra 2.5 hours extra of my day to get all this shit out of the way of my other business so I can get on my music stuff and get on my other ventures. And I'm like, oh my god, I almost got to wake up. I was like, no, you get to wake up earlier. You're so lucky. Be grateful you get to be up earlier. Oh my god, I gotta walk all the way to that trash can and put this trash in there. It's so far away. No, you get to walk there. You're gonna get a workout going there. So there's just a different aspect in that I get to versus I have to help me for me and my mindset. And then the expect great things. Expect great things. Now when I'm digging in somewhere where I go, too good to be true, I say, fuck that. Stop thinking too good to be true and start thinking there could be some magical shit, and there's probably some really magical shit. It's going to be amazing. And start focusing your energy on how great it's going to be, as opposed to how shitty it's going to be. Shitty's going to come whether you like it or not. So why not at least think great and not shitty? So again, expect great things, and I get to as opposed to I have to. That was like the massive thing for me, just having those phrases. They were almost like phrases like one time my homie from TDS told me, Casey Mills, big ups to him.
Yeah.
He says, you know what, man? And his phrase, and I wrote it on my hat, on the bottom bill of my hat, I wrote, let it ride. Because I always stress over dumb shit, right? And he knew me like that. He knew. He goes, man, Rob, man, just let it ride, dude. He goes, I just think about things. I just go, you know what, let it ride. And every time I had some dumbass, like girl drama or dumb shit as a teenager, of course, I would hear his voice, the phrase, let it ride. Just let it ride. Let it ride. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. Move on. You're a raincoat. Let that shit rain fall right off your back. Ain't no big thing. You got a raincoat on. Moving on. And the same thing, those little phrases like expect great things. Fucking don't worry about it. Let it ride. To the I get to as opposed to I have to. Little things of like, those are angles on gratitude. And if you can approach your day that way, it's going to change your perspective on your day and really help you approach and stay with the plan. Stay with that execution of whatever it is you're trying to do. Say you're trying to execute something big. If you let the monster that is negativity take you over and you're susceptible to it, there's like a magnet to a person in negativity. There's a magnet drawing you to it, more of a magnet than there is to positivity and greatness, because it's harder to wrap your head around great things happening to you. Negativity comes to you much easier. You're more magnetized to negativity than you are positivity. So it's a forcing and a muscling and a fight to stay with the positivity. And if you can find these little key words and things, those are things that help me. That's not necessarily going to help you, but for me, those things help me to kind of steer my mind and keep my mind in the right direction, because if you're trying to achieve something great, there's going to be so many negative forces trying to pull you away from that. And if you can keep, every time that negative thought comes in, I go, no, stop. Expect great things. No. I get to do this. No. Let it ride. Every time those things steer me away from letting the negative perspective come in. Again, as soon as I get a piece of mail, I think it's going to negative. I say, no. Expect great things. This might be $1 million check. And then next thing you know, it's like something fucking foul my wife says to me, and I think something crazy, and I'm like, no, let it ride. It ain't a big deal. Move on. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, I've got to frickin' fix the tire on the car. And it's like, no, 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 no. I get to fix the tire on the car. And that helps me stick with the script that I wrote for myself on my daily check off on my morning blast, to stick with that morning plan of enthusiasm I had in the beginning before I had all these obstacles and challenges come my way. It helps me maintain and stick to the script to get to the end of my day to have a winning fucking day. And you pin all those winning days, weeks, months, years, lifetimes together, and you've got a winning lifetime. And so those little phrases help me change my neural path to no, 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 no. I know your neural path says this is a negative letter in the mail, but expect great things. I know your neural path says, oh my God, your wife needs new tires in her car. It's going to cost you a G now. You just fucking finally got out of the hole. No, no, no. I get to buy her new tires. Now she's safe. This is great. And then the same thing with, oh my God, this dumb shit's happening. And it's like, no, 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 let it ride. No big deal. The guy cut you off. You're alive. Let it ride. You don't need to drive up next to him, pull your little fucking Glock out, and pop his brains out. You don't need to do none of that shit. Let it ride. Stay out of jail. Move on. Enjoy your life. Get home. Hug your kids. You know what I mean? It's like those little things help me. So gratitude's massive in the journey you have ahead of you in staying on task. And again, like I say, sticking with the script. Sticking with the script you wrote down as in your daily plan. If you write down your goals and your daily things, if you don't, you should. I write down everything I plan to do that day that is leaning towards my next logical step, my goals, my chief aims, and so gratitude is the little key, major keys to getting to success. Gratitude is massive.
Yeah, I do the same thing, and I do it all the time. I've always been optimistic, right? But after this information, it's times 10 now. But I do the same thing. There's a slow car in front of me, so instead of like what the get out the road, I'm like, hey, at least now I'm making sure I'm doing the speed limit. I'm not rushing, you know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'll sit here because I'm doing the right things. Or, I have to go to work and deal with these people with these poor mindsets. No, I get to come here and I get to interact with these people. I get to inspire them to maybe be better. Man, I have to pay this bill. I get to pay this bill because not very long ago I didn't even have an opportunity to even have this bill. I get to pay this bill. Man, I do the same thing, man, and it does help. I mean, it helps when you're always in this phase too. It helps you to keep going with good attitude on the other things you're trying to do as well. When you're in this humble place, it helps you like, I'm thankful I'm here, so I'm glad I can move forward. It helps. And it also helps you get through doing those things that you kind of really aren't really excited to do, but you have to do them to get to where you're going. Being in that humble space helps you have a better attitude during those times of days. Um, where you might not want to be there, but you have to. So you might not go there and be inspiring people and the best version of yourself because I'm grateful to be here. So while I'm here, I'm gonna raise everyone else too. Instead of, oh God, look at this retard. Even though I don't mean that, you can't say retard. That's not what I mean. I don't mean any disrespect. I mean you just oh, people, man. People have people. I mean, especially when you're at places with low income levels, just the more negative mindsets, and then you got just people coming in with negative mindsets and poor just failure habits and not happy with where they are in their life, so they're dumping it on you. Man, but when you're in a place of humble and grateful and having gratitude, it's not a thing, man. You just let the day, I've had to learn to just go with the flow of the day instead of try and dictate the day because I so just want to sell, sell, sell. I'm a salesman, and I need to let the day go with the flow of the day. But it's extremely important to be in that mental state of gratitude all the time. And there's a link that should be in this YouTube channel where you can download for free your own daily takeoff checklist. And by doing this daily takeoff checklist, you automatically are in that place of gratitude, and it's just a tool, just another tool for you to use to be in these places and not and really start attracting what you want next. This daily takeoff checklist is it is designed to give yourself an advantage over your day and just start it off uh, on a positive note. It's extremely important. I would highly suggest you at least just download it and just take a look at it, and you'll see for yourself just by reading it um, how it will change you. You will change. Talking to about this daily takeoff checklist is a great tool to, man. It has all of this we talked about in it.
Right.
You know,
And it
you
sets you up.
have to just try just read it and tell us you did not feel different.
Yeah, it sets you up for the right path, and that's like, I have to say, it's like a major key in sticking with the script. Like, you have a goal, you write a goal, and it is so hard to stay on track. And I'm saying this from my perspective, and I'm a motherfucker, dude. I'm on my shit. I grind. I get up 5 a.m. and I crack all the way till I'm done, and every minute is spoken for. However, I get off track. Still, there's still times when I'm like, man, I could have, like, that 30 minutes, I could have done something with that. You know what I mean? And I'm on my 30 minute, like I'm like, damn, I wasted 30 minutes today, and I'm upset. And it can be really bad if you don't start your day off right. You could lose hours. You could end up just getting depressed and then not doing shit the rest of the day and fuck off a day or two or five, or maybe fall off your whole plan altogether. It's like, I remember at one point I was really yoked up. I was buff and I tore my rotator cuff. And I went in and it depressed me, and I had to do these little rubber band workouts, and I said, you know what, I'm done. Stopped doing my runs in the morning, which my rotator cuff has nothing to do with my legs. I could have still did my hour run in the morning, and I could have done all that shit like I did before work, and still went and did all that and stayed in shape and gained however many pounds it was. Probably I was probably like, what, 190 muscle, and I got up to 250. Like, just because I decided, oh, my rotator cuff, now I can't be freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now I'm fat, or whatever you want to call it, not in shape, and not morbidly obese, but obese is like the guys that came over one time. I was working for Lowe's, and they had these like guys in the like what do they call it, like a RV show up, and they do your tests and all this stuff, and they're like, you're obese, and they gave me this list. I was like, obese? I'm like, man, I can still jump over a fence and do all kinds, but they were like, you're obese. I'm like, obese? I'm like 230 at the time. I was like, are you serious? I'm obese? I mean, what are you talking about? I can still run, and like, but they were dead serious. Like, that's too much weight for your body size, right? But you know, so you can imagine at 250 from not doing it, but it's like staying on track. If you like miss on a day, it could lead to like a domino effect of like I said, for me being 190 pounds all muscle, and I'm talking cock diesel, like buff, to just literally 250. Like, how did that happen? I went from like eating massively perfect every 2 hours. I was eating like perfect and being ripped and working out. I work out 2 times a day. I'd be there at lunch. I'd be there after work, and I would run in the morning. You know, like, and that was just my shit. Like, I was on it. To one little curve thing kind of gave me a little depression, and the next thing you know, I don't go in, and then I just start drinking and eating and doing whatever I want. And the same thing is with not having like a daily check off sheet or something in the morning to boost you and drive you and get you riled up for to win the day. It's like getting a car and revving the engine. You want to rev that engine, you're gassing it. Whoom, whoom, whoom. Let's get it. I'm about to rip. And you don't do that. And you want to win this race today because you've got to overcome all those negative obstacles, your mindset negativity, the people that you know, your family's negativity, society's negativity, then your taxes coming. You can't keep, you're like, I just can't get ahead. Well, you got to make sure at least you're not part of that, right? You're going to have all the things you can't control, which is the taxes and the mom and the cousin and the wife or the brother or the whatever says you can't, and wherever all these things that say no to you, these business meetings where you get told no, but you can't be the one telling you no. So how do you win you? Because you are the only thing you can control. So that daily checkoff sheet and the morning blast, those are the things that help you control you, the one thing you can control to make sure you're at least telling yourself, yes, there is no ceiling, go. And if you're telling yourself no plus everybody else, because everybody else and every other thing will give you resistance, you're going to have a hard travel. It's going to be hard for you to execute the goals, the lofty goals you have. You know, because it's enough to just say, hey, try and pay your bills and go to work and get home, to let alone do an additional extra, you know, more. So you're going to have to do a little bit more with your mindset and getting yourself riled up. You know, what if basketball teams that want to win and a football team that wants to win, they get together in the huddle and they, whoa, 1, 2, 3, whoa, we're the best, woo, holy shit, brah, 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 we're the best, we're going to kill it, we've been doing so good. They pump each other up, they get pumped up, and you got to get pumped up. You know, you got to get pumped up so that you're so on the path and you're so in the mindset and in the zone that somebody tells you something negative, but you're so in the zone, it just bounces right off you. You're a raincoat. You can't even hear what the hell the negative ass loser said to you. But it starts with gratitude. And I noticed myself starting out with being grateful of myself. A1 and foremost. Not my kids, not my wife, and not the basic ass gratitude. I'm so glad I have a house and food. And okay, stop. Stop. I'm so grateful I have food and a house and water and all the basic ass shit that most Americans have. Okay, stop it already. Your kids are breathing air and it has zero to do with you, okay? So be grateful for what you're able to believe in and achieve, and be grateful for yourself first, because you can't be grateful for your children if you aren't grateful for yourself first. You can't be grateful for your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or whatever the hell it is until you're grateful for yourself. And so my biggest movement and my journey has been looking at myself and saying, man, you've been kicking ass, you got this done, man, I'm so grateful, Robert. I'm talking to myself, of course. Robert, I'm so grateful. You've got started this business, that business, this business, that business. You got a YouTube, you got this podcast I'm very proud of. You've got all of these things that weren't there 1 year ago. Now we start and we jump off that platform, and what's next year look like, and then next year, and then next year, and then you're just like, damn, like these things weren't there before. So when you try to gear up and have the negativity and the doubt that you had a year before, it's like a year before you're using the same doubt you had a year before when you had nothing in place, but now you have all these things in place. How can you have the same doubt? You can't, because there's all these new possibilities in place. Before, you had that doubt with no possibilities in place. You didn't have a podcast. You didn't have extra YouTube channels. You didn't have websites. You didn't have funnels. You didn't have frickin' an artist you're working on and recording. You didn't have XYZ. You didn't have this. You didn't have that. So that doubt was maybe okay to have. But now you have all these things in place. And so it was bigging yourself up. And then it's like, man, I'm on for the next thing. Let's go. Hey, Will, let's write a book. Man, I got an idea. It's like gratitude for yourself. Be grateful for what you are doing first. Be grateful. Don't be grateful for the sky. Don't be grateful you have food in your mouth. That is different. That is different gratitude. I'm talking about goals here. And sure, maybe that gratitude works for you and whatever you need, baby steps, but I'm telling you the biggest movement of the needle, I'm trying to move a needle here. Not just be some arbitrary, I'm so grateful that the cows are alive still and we're still existing as a universe. I'm saying first tell yourself how grateful you are to yourself for what you've done, whether it's waking up an hour earlier to try and do what you're doing, whether it's waking up 10 minutes earlier to get what you're doing, whether it's just waking up in time for work because you've been late a lot lately, whether it's just you not eating so much, not overeating, or last night you didn't overeat, or if it's just you being nicer to people. I want you to show yourself gratitude because you're the fucking engine you need to feed to achieve your day, because your fucking kids eating doesn't feed your day. Your wife eating and being alive and loving you doesn't feed your day. It just doesn't do that. I mean, you can do that, but you have to tell yourself you're achieving and be grateful and show yourself gratitude. So yourself is your biggest and hardest thing to conquer. Your mind is the hardest thing to conquer. And that's your mind, not your kid's mind, not your mom's mind, not the fact that you have gas in your car's mind. So, again, gratitude towards yourself is massive. And it has helped me. Like, I started getting up in the morning and being like, okay, I got to find that vibe I did yesterday. Because yesterday I fucking was pumped up because I told myself how great I was. And I was so jacked up. Nobody could tell me I was going to achieve my goals. My wife started acting sideways to me. I was like, shit, you good luck getting in this force field I just built around myself, because that daily check off, that morning blast created a force field around myself, and good fucking luck breaking into that. And I'm fucking forging forward, and I'm going to end my day winning. And then I'm going to add that to tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. And I'm going to make that a week, a month, a year, a lifetime. A force field around yourself. So that morning checkoff sheet, daily blast, that any book you read, a force field around yourself, to when people try to tell you and doubt you, it's a force field. It's like, man, you guys are fucking, don't marginalize me based on your belief ceiling. They only believe so much, and now they're trying to pull you down into that box. And it's like, just because you can't believe you can run a mile doesn't mean that I can't. It's like, that's impossible. It's impossible. Why? Because you don't believe in yourself. You didn't do the morning blast. You're not into self-help and getting yourself better. You know what I mean? So again, show yourself some gratitude. When I say gratitude, it's not just gratitude that you got up to breathe there. That's part of it, and a very small part of it. But more, some of the things are to be expected. You're gonna wake up and breathe air, and if you're not, you probably don't want to watch the show. If you don't have another day to live, then what's the fucking point of what you're gonna do by the time you're 80, right? If you have such bad health, your goals that are far further than what your health is. Let's say you have cancer, stage 4, and you're going to die in a year, and we're talking 10-year goals. That's just fucking counterintuitive. That doesn't make sense. So what I'm talking about is not being grateful for the basic ass shit. Have your talk with God or whatever separately. I'm talking gratitude. Show yourself gratitude because you're the person that you need to nurture on this journey. You're the person that has to wake up early. You're the person that you have to ask for the extra hour or two a day to work. You're the person that has to skip the nap. You're the person who has to spend the extra money and go a little bit in debt to get where you're trying to go. You're the person who has to sacrifice. So you're the person you should be showing gratitude to. Not everything else, not the sky, not the fact that your car has gas. Yourself, what you've been doing, what you're able to do, and why you keep forging forward. You have to high five yourself, pat yourself on the back. And I'm saying that like I'm an expert or something, but I know it because I'm living it and doing it right now.
It's extremely important. That's why I don't, man. Uh, Hopefully the link is in the video. You you have to get this. It's almost like a no brainer, man. Um, these are tools you should be doing every single day, and that grateful and just for yourself is huge. Um, that's why this daily takeoff checklist is so important because it gives you a chance to be telling you these things and start the process of you getting into this successful habit. Um, what else? I mean, we like that's like gratitude in a nutshell, right there.
Yeah, I think I really capped it off with kind of
Like, I
self
mean,
gratitude.
I don't even have a rebuttal to that one.
Yeah, I kind of went
Uh,
on a thing, and I think I nailed it, like with the whole self gratitude and really tying it into what I've been dealing with, and it's really been helpful to me.
not just the small things, but man, yourself.
Like, hey man, good job getting up this morning. Hey, good job not eating that burger when you wanted to eat it. Good job. And tell yourself that again. I've said it. I can't say it any better. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, comment on like, hey, this was too short, or this wasn't long enough. Um, you will see the link in the description for that daily checkoff sheet. Morning blast, I believe, is in there as well. So it's not just a daily checkoff sheet. There's things that help you like say these words with me and feel great. I mean, that's massive. I mean,
Yeah, the morning blast is the first thing,
it's
but
paramount.
also like, even your main game and your next logical hustles to achieve your goals. Like you're gonna take that part and duplicate that for the rest of your life because you're gonna reach your goals and you're gonna do it again. So just that part, when you read it and you do and you start practicing these success habits, um, you're gonna be doing your main figuring out a main game and your next logical hustles forever. You're gonna repeat it. That's the biggest part. But just yeah, I mean it's I hope I hope you guys and gals that are watching um, download it and start your process of creating your own momentum cycle. It's major. I mean, this is like the most important action, man. And it will help you tell yourself, I am grateful that I've created these things in my life. I'm grateful for the things I'm going to create in the future. I'm grateful for the pain I once felt. I'm grateful for the pain I'll feel in the future because you know it's going to help you, man. Yes, you know, you don't know how your dream is going to happen. You just haven't noticed. They're flying towards my reality with rapid speed. Like this is, uh, a really amazing tool, and you don't find these tools out there. Um, Choice is yours. But yeah, that's all. Comment, like, subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel. We're dropping stuff every day. You get to see some clips and different stuff. We're gonna keeping it moving.